description. Well, I'm Nicola.
I'm Jairo. Okay, this project's called Imaginary Friends in Isolation. It began around about 2013. We did a presentation in 2018 here. It's taken many shapes and forms, and we had many ideas that we were going to do, but then came COVID. And we had to rethink the project completely. And what we did, we got together with a group of like-minded individuals, and we created a project that was going to, really, it was going to be about the lockdown and what the uncertainty, the fear, and about imaginary friends in lockdown. So we've got 3 other collaborators with us, and so we thought it'd be good to just show you. It can't be in person, but to show you their videos.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Kalia. I'm a multidisciplinary artist from Tottenham. Just want to shout out Jairo, Zaldua and Nicola Green for having me as part of the Imaginary Friends project. It was a really brilliant way for us to bring together people's stories through the pandemic and most of all maintain connection when we were also isolated. I hope you enjoy the collection, and once again, thanks for having us on the platform. Take care. Bye.
Hi, my name is Zaldua. I'm a filmmaker and musician. Jairo and Nicola would send me an image of an imaginary friend that they had created based on a description sent in by one of their followers. I'd then close my eyes and try and conjure up this personality with sound and music based on the flow of the words in the description. Hi, my name is Zaldua. I'm
The final one here. This is playing.
Yeah.
My name's Elin Doyle, and in normal times, I'm an actor and writer.
You go up to the bottom and play from current slide at the top left.
And during COVID, just as it did with a lot of people, all of my work just came to an immediate halt. And I found myself working for the London Ambulance Service as a call handler, which felt like a really great thing to do. But at the same time, I was completely unprepared for, and my experience, therefore, during COVID was just of being on the receiving end of all sorts of different issues. A lot of the things and little videos that I put together for Jairo and Nicola for their Imaginary Friends project expressed a lot of that angst that I was both taking on board but also experiencing.
Okay, the aim of this project was to allow the public to submit, was to submit a brief statement about their idealized imaginary friend to guide them through lockdown. We asked them to give a name to the imaginary, and then we created a screen printed image based on what they'd given in our studio, which is our kitchen table.
The other collaborators, in turn, responded to our image and the original statement in their chosen medium.
And the resulting fragile sound was posted up on Instagram.
And well, it was not unlike a chain letter. So we documented as a carousel on Instagram. So it's a sequence of images. Okay, as we proceed. So this was the first imaginary friend that was sent to us, the first statements. And we created this thread. So I'm going to give you an example of this thread and how it worked. So this is the first statement. And in response to this statement, we created this screen print.
This is the character Lickle, who's a lively Jamaican girl. Description, quite a person who just likes to party and enjoy.
And in response to that, we had Elin Doyle created a video, which we're going to show you an extract. Jasmine Kalia, she created a digital mashup, which was based on what you just seen, based on our image and the video. And in turn, my brother Tobias created some music. That's an example of that. And so we can't play everything in full, there's only so much time. So in response.
In response, somebody wrote into us online saying Little sounds like her best friend Paula, a child she knew at school. She said she adored this child, but he lived in a very clean house, and she was fostered, and her parents were not kind.
Had a poignant message, and this was the image we created in response to that. Notice the sad eyes.
And the flowers.
Yes, and in response to this, Elin Doyle made a video, which actually is quite moving.
Hey Paula, how are you? I don't know why. I know this is crazy, right? Just kind of out of the blue, but I went for a walk past our old school the other day, and it just made me think of you. And I just thought, because I haven't seen you in such a long time, and you were my best friend at school, so I just wanted to find out how you are. But you know, like the memories that come back, really stupid things. Like I remember coming around to your house and it being so clean, like really, really clean and there would be all these like brightly coloured plastic flowers everywhere. How are you? I hope you're not on your own. I hope you've got people with you. I hope that everybody you care about is really well, and even your foster family. I hope they're all right too. Take care. Love you.
Response to that. There's a digital mashup based on the video and our artwork, and then my brother made some music to it. Okay, on to the next imaginary friend, a history doctor.
Described as knowledgeable and goofy.
That's what we created, and this was the statement that went with it.
My imaginary friend is a history doctor. She's very knowledgeable, but also very goofy. In this uncertain and challenging time, she calms me down by telling me stories from the past, when people's lives were much harder than nowadays. For instance, today she told me that the window tax of 1696 was so excessive that people went as far as bricking up their windows to reduce their bill. Glass, for so much of its history, was a luxury item, which is why only the really privileged could afford it. I'm very lucky to have large windows in my home. They're tall, from the floor to the ceiling. When I feel anxious, I can stare at the vast sky above me. Watching passing clouds always calms me down.
And this was the digital mashup, which is very interesting from Kayla.
The history, historical elements, and the word luxury.
And so the next imaginary friend was a character called Max, a dark-haired little comedian, kind of vaudeville character, a bit of a smoker. And that's what we created.
Yes,
Max.
we had some fun with that.
Yeah. So, and the next one, we had a lot of trees actually. So just one of the tree creatures we had. And that's what we created from the tree character. And here it's something of a different theme, different mood, but it really does encapsulate this time.
Yes, this person, his father passed actually, and he wrote about this. There's a lot of emotion, and talked about a funeral no one can attend, with his father being okay with that.
This was the image we created. You noticed all the figures around here. It was like an explosion of the memories and emotions coming out.
It took us 4 days on the kitchen table to finish. What's the small image?
And so, let me show you an extract of the video that went with it. A harrowing video. We don't have time to show everything, so we obviously got to give you extracts. But the whole thing can be seen in full.
As it were, to move through the population. More families, many more families, are going to lose loved ones before their time. We've done what can be done to contain this disease, and this has brought us valuable time.
There's a pattern emerging here. We were slow into lockdown, slow on testing, slow on protective equipment, and now slow to take up these offers from British firms.
And this was Jasmine Calia's contribution. It says a funeral where no one can attend. And Tobias created a piece of music to go with it. So the next, by contrast, the next imaginary friend is a half dog, half horse character. And this is what we created. You notice it has all those caring eyes as well.
That's what was asked for.
Okay. And there's another one. This is actually from one of our contributors, and it's about a spider's web.
Spider's web right into the universe.
We show you a tiny extract of this.
My imaginary friend is like a spider's web, only it's far more intricate and beautiful, and it's eternal and infinite, and every single soul on this planet is connected to this web, and it's through the web that we can feel other people's feelings and love and suffering. And right now, from the tiny part of the web that I occupy, what I can feel is everybody's pain, and there's nothing really much that I can do about it.
That's what we created.
Yeah.
So there's like a little webby-like feel to the text, and
Yes,
the intricate, and really going different directions.
into a molecular universe.
Okay, the next one this is actually a personal imaginary friend of my own. When I was a child with my sister, we had two pajama cases named Dog and Sue, and they actually did look like that, actually. Okay, I can explain that to another later on if you want to, but I've got time to talk about it now. But anyway, this was
a wild kid at school, was written about, and the person who wrote in was very upset because her mechanical pencil was stolen by the kid.
it's about trust and distrust, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Childhood memories, and so we noticed the lines we have created, we trying to create that spirograph effect. Okay. Next one. Okay, this was an imaginary friend. It was a real person based on childhood memories of. Actually, it was somebody did childhood longing, wasn't it? It became like an imaginary friend by default.
Someone he never really knew. Rush, I guess. But here she's ethereal.
And here we have a friend called Pepe, who's from Barcelona, and he has got a big head and lanky arms. And here we have Pepe. Okay, so this one is based on a Furby.
Oh yes, a Furby.
It's small, smooth, adorable, magic pet. But it's also an ecological piece, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's to do with environments and how things were. So,
Yes. And art.
so here we have the Furby in its full glory. You remember Gremlins, yes. And move forward. This is one of the videos that was coincides with it.
Art is not dead, even if it seems so. We are just developing a new way of making art, something that will change our way of viewing the contemporary world. A new generation shaped by online businesses, art relationships, and transmedia collaborations. The world becomes calmed, steady, and sane after a long time of fatigue. Art is not dead.
That was a digital mashup created by Jasmine Calia, and we have a piece of music which also fits the piece very perfectly.
We rechristened him Herbie. You'll hear why.
Yeah, you will. And in this time, one of our collaborators, Elin, she had problems because of her workload, as you saw earlier, and so she sent us a message, which basically is saying, to my dearest imaginary friends, which I'm going to show you now. And So she sent us a written message about how she missed us so much, all the pressure of the lockdown.
Yeah, she spoke to us like we were the imaginaries.
And
she talked about the pressure of her work, the night shifts, the stress of it, but being grateful. And she talked about losing a sense of identity, not knowing who she was anymore. She walked further in and she talked about another tree, which meant a lot, a bony tree, which she relied on, and talked about the inherent sense of dignity she saw in the tree.
She had a special relationship with this tree, which we're going to show you in a minute. That's what we created. So this was, we did this on black paper. So it's a screen print, multi-layered, quite experimental piece for us, actually.
It certainly was.
And yes, that's what we were trying to capture in this piece. So the next one was, again, there's another tree. So this is significance to tree creatures. And my imaginary friends were like animals, a myriad.
This person had a myriad of toy animals, which accompanied her everywhere. We called it the animal menagerie.
And this is the animal menagerie. We liked it so much, we did 2 versions of it. Okay, and so this one, moving on to Bunny Rabbit. It's a childhood memory again of a strange rabbit, like a tiny head, large body. We wanted to create something that was quite naive. We wanted to capture that naivety of a children's drawing. And we did 2 versions.
Kind of floating in space as well. Yeah. Okay, an imaginary meeting between Little and Paula.
Okay, Little.
Some things you don't even have to talk about.
Paula, when you're hand in hand like we two are. So this is where all the imaginary friends start to meet up with each other. And we did this digitally through Photoshop. We scanned in all the artwork, and this is the start of the meetings. So you see Little and Paula, and this is outside where we live, Tufnell Park.
Yes, from my window.
And Nicola claims she's seen these characters.
I do.
Okay, so then there's another imaginary friend between Pepe and a special guest. It's in Stratford car park. So an interesting little story about this is originally there was a dance performance by Boris Chametz for Sadler's Wells Theatre. What I did is I took a photograph of the dance performance, then I got rid of all the detail, all the dancers actually, and we added these creatures in instead. So we tried to make this kind of choreography between them. So next one.
An imaginary meeting between Max and the menagerie in Malaga, Spain. Can you see this? Okay, very briefly.
Okay, so basically...
Menagerie says, hello, Max, we've been wandering around for some time now.
And Max says, stay in La La Land a little longer, have fun, take your shoes off.
Menagerie, we can help each other and keep each other entertained.
And Max, you asked me what animal would I be? I think I'd be a raccoon. And
Menagerie says, please say you'll come along.
And we did, and that's the image. So somehow we end up with something looking a bit like Donnie Darko. We are David Lynch. So yeah, to see where they become intertwined with each other. And okay, this is during the heat wave. As we're going towards autumn, and still the uncertainty of lockdown. Things were still, they were still didn't really know where we were going. And so
our imaginary's reflection of that against a heated background, that kind of wandering slightly aimlessly, and in the in-between space.
In limbo.
It's like the tiny bunny rabbits.
Rabbits. Okay, the history doctor meets the web of consciousness and
located somewhere deep in the Cotswolds, guarding the threshold of what?
Yes. And what it is. So as you can see, in the background here, the sky, that's actually the web of consciousness. You can see it subtly. And a very lonely figure is cut by the actual history doctor.
Sure.
And we did 2 versions of this, so I'll show you the other version.
What we did have when we went to
the vast sky above me.
This was in Stepney Green.
Stop in a minute.
Okay, we did there. Yeah. Okay, so the gathering of imaginary friends gathered together in tree-like creatures. So we'll show you. And this is the result. And video, that's clip, that's what we did. Yeah, and then we're going to Tufnell Park, where there's a football match between the Furbies and the Imaginaries. So you see, Furbies versus mechanical pencils. And this is outside where we live. Notice the goalposts. And okay, so, and So we're going to go to the final, right, so here we are. This is the final scene when all the imaginary friends meet together
In Richmond Station.
and it's all the characters. So you see, it's like a fun farewell. It's December the 15th. We thought the lockdown was going to end, but it didn't. And there's a video and good for that.
My imaginary friend is a tree I hug for safety.
So just to take you out to the finale, we're going to show you their video. So this is the final departure of all the imaginary friends set to music. Sad moment, because we got quite used to these characters. It was something we were sort of attachment to, didn't we?
Yes, we did actually. It was familiar language between us day after day.
And it felt like it should be, I don't know. It's a period where it should be, there should be a bit more certainty. We're still in lockdown.
Yes.
In the background here, that's parts of Tufnell Park where we live. That's the Boston Arms. Anyone knows Tufnell Park? And so you see all the creatures here.
Yes. On their final goodbye, getting on the train.
And so,
My dearest imaginary friends, I miss you so much.
And so, at the end of the project, just to say, all that, thank you. We can follow all these images in full, in more detail on our Instagram sites. There's one for imaginary friends, there's one just of us two.
Yes, absolutely. We are in the break, we're open for questions. We're very interested in any collaborations or any ideas you might have. You knew where to find us. We're here for the rest of the day.
We want to take it further, and we obviously want to develop these creatures, make them come alive, and that's what when I say into part 1, part 2 is going to be that.